And the thing about it is
So
that
Takagi,
it's just so fucking cute. I don't get how
it is a cute show, like, and I agree with you, but like, I mean, I feel like I could get that from the manga.
Well, fine, but okay, you can get it from the manga, whatever. I haven't read the manga, I don't read manga, but like, it's pure and it's wonderful, and there's nothing wrong with it. And
I agree with you. It is cute and it is pure.
Yeah, you agree with me. That's enough. It's Takagi-san is the best anime of the season, hands down.
I mean,
oh my god, fuck no.
I don't.
What? Matt, do you want in on this?
I do want in on this.
No,
but
you
first
see all this crowd that we're gathering, right?
Yeah.
No,
obviously.
We're gonna have an actual fist fight on hallway chats if Alex doesn't shut his ignorant mouth about Takagi-san.
But Takagi, I mean,
Bet you're coming in to save the day.
Yep. All right, we've Yamata'd. I'm still fuming about this. But...
I'm like in the mid ground. I think it's a decent anime, but I don't think it's like great. I think it's one of the weaker shows of the season. Just because I think the season's strong.
Oh, I mean... no. Have you seen Killing Bites?
No, I haven't.
Have you seen the literal hentai that made its way onto Mal's
fucking
seasonal
Citrus?
chart? No,
Citrus.
not Citrus. The actual hentai.
Wait, the actual. There's
yes,
an actual.
There is an
wait,
actual
I need to look at this.
hardcore. No, you don't. It's not good.
What's the name of this hardcore
right
hentai? It's for research, guys. Don't get the wrong idea.
Yeah, of course it is. Sure, but it is called Nijigo Sai no Joshikose.
Nijigo Sai go no.
It's 25-Sai no Joshikose. It's a teacher-student porn.
Oh yeah,
and yeah, it's just for some reason on their regular seasonal chart. You don't even have to click the 18+ button.
I will admit that Takagi-san at least sounds better than that.
It is. It's better than most things. It's better than Toji no Miko, or it's better than fucking Citrus.
Yeah, well, everything's better than Citrus.
No, it's not. Pop Team Epic isn't better than Citrus.
I need to watch Pop Team and Epic, because that one's
you
just
do.
Like...
It's an experience unlike anything else this season, but...
I can give it that much.
Yeah,
Citrus
it's
is
very,
really
very bad.
But, like, it's bad in all the ways I'm there for. I hate myself.
I mean, that's fair. I understand why people would watch it. It's just terrible.
Like, sexual assault is bad.
Yeah, basically.
Like, what was this? One of my assaulted exactly like Yuzu's being sexually assaulted. So
what was it? Fucking one of my coworkers was like asking me like, what do you think about Citrus? Have you seen it yet? And I was like, #not my fetish. That's all I'm gonna say. It's just way too much.
Yeah, like, I won't say I was disappointed because I wasn't, but when I watched the first episode of Citrus, I thought there are some interesting things they could do with this. They're not gonna do any of them, but they could.
Yuzuru is like legitimately a fantastic character.
Which one is that? The protagonist?
Yeah, she's like the Gyaru girl.
I agree. Yeah,
so it's a real shame she's put into this
anime
show.
Yeah. No, because there were some legitimately good directing moments in Citrus. Like, there was this one scene, I forget what the context was, but it was Yuzuru and some other girl talking on that bridge, and the other girl mentions, like, some kind of thing about, like, beauty or individualism, and she looks down at her breasts. Because, like, with this whole way that Yuzuru uses her, like, physical appearance to express her identity, seeing that one subtle bit of self-consciousness, like, in that ability to express who she is, especially when she's surrounded by all of these, like, carbon-copied clones at this elite, rich, hoity-toity school, was really cool. And, of course, later in the anime, they just made it like they explicitly say the thing, which pisses me off more than anything. But at least it was there.
Hey, guys, haven't you heard that magic is what the runs on this kingdom, or whatever it is, with the fucking Black Clover. Everything in this kingdom revolves around magic.
In this world.
Magic is everything, yeah. Well,
we haven't said this episode.
Of this season is Koi wa Ame Gari no Yoni, which is like After the Rain or some shit.
Yes, that is amazing.
Like the age gap romance, so that was something that presumably was going to be like another sort of problematic, sort of gross thing like Citrus, but it's so far been handled really well.
Yeah, I've only seen the first episode, and that's definitely a highlight this season.
Yeah, number 2 sort of confirms like the potential goodness that you see in episode 1.
Good.
Because it's about this high school girl who's into her 45-year-old manager. But he's like not making a move and not even really noticing at this stage
and he's
yet.
a dork.
Yeah. He's adorable. Her affection for him is adorable. And so it's just, as of right now, sort of letting her express her romantic feelings, and they're not being reciprocated, which they shouldn't, because he's
exactly
more than twice her age.
Yeah.
But then episode 1, like, she even gets to masturbate, like, not in a sexualized manner, just like that's part of her expressing herself.
In episode 1 or episode 2?
Treated respectfully in episode 2.
Okay.
So like there's a real expression of like, romantic and sexual agency on her part that isn't exploited, which is really cool.
That's really cool. Yeah, you don't see that very often. Looks glaringly at Citrus.
I want to say something that's going to piss a lot of people off real quick. I think Sora whatever it is, the
Sora Yorimoi Basho
is so overrated.
What?
It's
No.
That one's fair, actually. Alex, are we going to fight about this too?
Yeah, it's like, no, you can't say
I've
this.
heard
You can't do this to
nothing
me.
but worship about this show. And it's not a bad show, but it's fucking boring. It's so slow-paced. And it's
love it.
I mean, I do enjoy the characters, and I think their interactions are okay. But, like, let's be honest, the first 3 episodes could have been 1 episode.
Sure,
and that would have been that would have been
I think that's to its credit.
I think, okay, I mean, there is a thing about, I love slow-paced shows, too. Don't get me wrong. But there is a thing about dragging things out versus being slow-paced, and this has just been kind of dragged out.
I disagree.
I also disagree.
Go for it. Shoot me down. Let's see. I have my fists up. I'm ready to go for this.
We shot him. He's dead.
Matt's just
Honorable
lying on the
debate
floor right now, crying. Like, oh my god, you brought a gun to school? What the fuck?
It's America, I guess.
You brought words to a gunfight, Matt. That was your mistake.
You brought words to a gunfight. This ain't Mob Psycho, Matt. Can't do that.
It's a bad call.
But I don't know. I don't feel like we should have to defend why we like Place Further Than the Universe, because that's like the consensus is that it's good.
Yeah.
Whoa, 1 second. Let me just reiterate what you said. The masses agree with me, therefore I am right.
So you're the one who should have to defend yourself. But like,
okay, I get that.
At least you're not saying like what Nux Taku is saying, where it's like, oh, the character motivations don't make sense, and so it's a bad show. Like, of course the character motivations don't make sense. It's about being a stupid, idealistic high schooler.
Yeah, no, that's not my problem with it.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. I guess I could see why you think they're dragging things out, but each episode has, like, a specific purpose to it so far. And I feel like trying to take it any faster than they have would just be rushing the story. Because, like, once you get to Antarctica, I'm guessing it just becomes, like, basically a cute girls show with this one, like, plot about finding this other girl's dead mom. But, I don't know. I think that their trying to get to Antarctica is going to be so much more interesting than anything that happens once they're in Antarctica.
Well, no, I agree with that. Here's the thing. I'm not complaining about the speed of them going to Antarctica. I'm just talking about the relationship itself and the movements of the characters and how they're talking with each other. Okay. Like, for me, in the first episode, when she makes friends with the Antarctic crazy chick, whatever her fucking name is, for me, it felt a little repetitive. It was like, hey, let's be friends. Like, oh, no, you don't want to be my friend. Okay. And it's like, they did like 3 more fucking times before it was like, oh, maybe you do want to just be my friend. And that was it. You know, I feel like it was like, okay, this could have been resolved way quicker. Like, and it's not like a case of like, it's not even a case of like they were building her character or anything in this situation. Like, nothing, to me, it feels like it changed. That was my issue with it.
Episode 1, but like, as for the development of that relationship in episode 1, that felt like a decent speed it moved at. Like, it feels natural that she would take a sort of a while to open up and be somewhat resistant to doing so.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that if I had been working to save up that kind of money and someone else is just like, hey, I'll join you for your thing, I'd be a little skeptical, because, like,
I don't know. I'm also a bit of a standoffish person, or maybe standoffish isn't the right word, but like, I don't know. I can understand. I think it makes sense.
No, I think standoffish was the right word, but I don't know. I'll agree to disagree on that one. I still think it's a good show. Like, I want to clarify that.
It has
I just don't
white
think. I think
outlines.
it's.
We went over this last episode, Matt.
Yeah, that's true. That's Kino.
I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for the white outlines, I would say it's trash. But you know,
And that's entirely fair. That's a fair opinion to have.
But I just feel like everyone's been like praising the fuck out of this show, and I was like, okay, it's far from perfect in my opinion.
Well, it's not perfect, no, but it is a very good show. I'm not sure I would call it one of the highlights of the season because you're right, it is just a very good season.
I don't know. For me, it's been my personal favorite so far.
Really?
Although, I mean, again, there is stiff competition there. But I don't know.
Between that and Takagi-san. Yeah, Takagi-san is the best show of the season.
No,
hands
Citrus
down.
guy. Citrus,
Oh,
obviously.
get out of here. You're expelled.
But I don't know, that scene of the girls like running down the street in episode 2 and they're just like completely losing their minds, but like, hey, it's fine, they're teenagers, they're out there living life, enjoying their youth. It was beautiful. It was great. And there was a good quote in there that I liked that I tweeted out the other day.
Which was for those of us who didn't see it.
Yeah.
No, the quote was it's not now I gotta actually get the full quote, but it was something along the lines of, "It's not a true journey if you can turn back," or the moment.
I didn't enjoy that quote. I think it's a good quote.
Yeah, stuff.
Yeah,
I know what you were saying. For all those people, I'm sure you guys aren't watching this, but Overlord season 2 so far is pretty shit.
Okay,
I'll just say it.
Great.
I never watched the first season, so
same.
First season was really good. Second season so far has been shit. So that's
Evan is a fan of the first season, but I haven't ever heard anything good about it.
How are the visuals?
The visuals are fine. It's more of a case of storytelling. It's like, hey, you have the really interesting main character, or you have these weird lizard people you haven't met yet. That let's spend 2 episodes on them. Like, what the fuck? Like, come on, stop. No one gives a shit about these guys. They're all gonna get killed anyway.
Yeah. I'm having a hard time deciding on my favorite show of the season. It's either Takagi-san or Dame X Prince Anime Caravan. And neither of those is the best show of the season.
I need to watch more. I haven't watched most of the season yet.
Yeah. The best show of the season is probably Hakume to Mikochi?
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, with the
Which
two
one is
very
that?
very small girls. the 2 girls who are just so small.
I'm looking at it right now too. One second.
I know, like, the first half of the first episode gave me like Made in Abyss vibes, just because like there was this big world and like the big bird creature thing, but they're just like tiny people living in a massive world. But it's cute.
Funny.
It's fun.
In a normal-sized world.
Well, yeah, but to them it's huge. But yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, thanks.
By the way, not that this should be surprising since we're in the hall and all, but I don't have a computer right now. Don't worry though, it's still recording.
Yeah.
But
okay.
there's my computer right now.
God.
My screen.
That's...
It's not like it's on. My screen's on. You can see the windows, my little tabs at the bottom there.
I can see your Jesus Christ, man, are you okay?
I don't know what's going on.
First your mic and then this.
I mean, if we lose Pedro, then we know what happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
God. He was taken out of the Matrix forcibly. Oh yeah, Slow Start. That was another show I was watching. It's
a little too
I know Jeff has a
slow
hatred for it.
Yeah, Slow Start sucked.
It's okay. Here it gets better later on, though.
Amazing.
All right.
Has anyone here gotten to watch Violet Evergarden yet?
Yep.
Yes.
First episode, yes.
Opinions, please.
The second episode makes the show.
Okay.
Yeah, the first episode is fine. It's pretty good. But, like, the second episode is what really made me say, like, alright, I want to watch the rest of this.
Because I haven't gotten around to watching it yet. I kind of want to let it, like, finish so I can binge it.
That's not a bad choice, honestly. So the sort of main disconnect with it, I think, is that Violet isn't really much of a character at this point.
Yeah.
But that's, like, the clear and explicit point of it all. Her journey is learning to become a person after being this dehumanized sort of weapon. And I mean, in all of the sort of pre-airing interviews going back like a year and a half now, the thing has been, this is a story about Violet learning to like open up and be a person. So I mean, maybe that's like, I mean, you certainly can't expect that of the audience, but for anyone who's been following it, this sort of slow start for her is something you were expecting. And so that's, I think, what's creating the disconnect for the people who aren't as into it. But hopefully, you know, the visuals are so spectacular that they'll stick around to see that, because it is probably the most technically impressive television anime production of all time.
Yeah.
I do not doubt that.
It's very, very pretty.
This season seems good. I gotta get around to watching more shit than just Citrus.
I'm really liking Darling in the Franxx too.
I saw the first episode of Darling in the Franxx, and I'll watch the second.
I didn't feel like it had, like, for me, the first episodes of, like, a trigger or then again, I've really only seen Kill la Kill and Gurren Lagann, but usually, like, the first episodes have, like, a really strong hook that get me in. Darling in the Franxx felt like it was a little underwhelming in that department, but it still, like, gave me a pretty clear sense of what this show's going to be about. And even episode 2, I thought, it's, I mean, the metaphor they're going for is certainly interesting. It's not something that, like, usually most anime will kind of, like, dance around, but it's, I don't know. Yeah. I'm interested to see where it goes, especially considering how directly it's just, like, you know, discussing sex and that stuff.
Sex is everything in this world.
It's a laboriously straight show, but it's got so much of, like, that, not 70s old school, but like late 90s, early 2000s old school mecha stylings that is very nostalgic. It's got a lot of Eva in it. It's got a lot of Eureka 7 in it, to the point of that pink-haired girl literally just sort of being Anemone from Eureka 7.
Pretty much, yeah.
So I'm really enjoying that aspect of it. It's all right.
For anyone who's into whatchamacallit, what's the name of it? The fucking Sword Art Online genre, basically.
Isekai?
Death March. Isekai, thank you.
Oh no.
Death March. It's okay. It's really generic. It's super generic. But the one thing I do have to give credit to it is its main character. He's like a 29-year-old guy who got ported into like a 16-year-old boy. But at the same time, it's like he still acknowledges he's like 30. So, like, you know, he'll have, like, 16-year-old girls hit on him, and he's like, okay, haha, yeah, that's cute, back the fuck up, all right?
Okay, that's cool.
like that's the one thing I give credit to this show about, so far at least. I've only, like, episode 2 right now.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad show. I mean, it's just, it's so generic.
Yeah,
it's
I only
so
saw the first
fucking
episode,
generic.
and it was, like, working with a few more ideas, and ideas that were a bit more interesting than, like, your typical derivative isekai stuff. But he just, like, got so overpowered so quickly, so relatively uninterestingly, that I sort of knew where it was probably going to be going, and knew that I wasn't going to be interested. At least
and it's interesting that, like, I was going to bring up Smartphone. Yeah, keep going.
Was interesting to me. Whereas this seems like just, in terms of intent, just one of your isekai power fantasy things, just done relatively well, and that thing has no interest for me, whereas Smartphone, sort of from the setup, it seemed like it wasn't really going to be that typical power fantasy thing, even if it maybe was going to be done worse than Death March. There's more inherent interest there. But I dropped both of them, so...
I was supposed to say, I haven't watched the Smartphone one. I didn't have the time or patience.
That's still better than me. Anytime I see the word transported in the description, I'm just like, okay, this is one I'll skip.
The isekai genre is just so oversaturated right now.
It seemed like it became like a polygamous harem or something from what I heard. So, like, Smartphone was definitely doing some cool stuff, I think.
Okay.
7 Deadly Sins Season 2. That's another one.
7 Deadly Sins.
Wait, what? Whoa, I'm surprised. I thought you loved 7 Deadly Sins.
No. See, the funny thing about that is, just from like the cover art of the first season, I didn't, well, not the cover art, but like there was just something about it that seemed kind of off-putting from the beginning. But then Arcata did his like review on it a while back, and he's like, oh, this is the shonen anime that I would recommend to people who aren't into shonen. And so I was like, well, I'm into shonen, so I'll watch this. And I got like 5 episodes in, and I couldn't stand it. So I'm not going to be following season 2.
The original or season 2?
I'm so surprised. I mean, for me, I love it because it's just ridiculous. Like, it's just one of those shonen shows. It's like, what if we just keep upping the ante to the point where it's ludicrous? It's like Dragon Ball Z, except instead of like having really strong enemies, everyone's just like a fucking ant. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't know. The main character didn't particularly grab me. But
yeah, he's not great.
Yeah, that was more of an issue with season 1. Yeah.
One thing that I wanted to talk about, Devilman Crybaby.
Oh
yeah, that's technically this season. Good show.
Mm-hmm. Good
Solid.
show.
I liked it.
I thought it was pretty unwatchable. I also think this is mostly just my taste and not anything that was wrong with the show itself. I just found it horribly boring.
Narratively,
okay.
visually,
I highly disagree.
Overall, I was going to say, out of everything I've heard about this show, boring would not have been one of the criticisms I would have thought to attach to it.
Well, it's very plot heavy, and that's not like something that I'm too into.
That's fair.
So.
That's fair.
I just love the stylization.
The stylization is pretty
relatively quickly. Like, it very, very quickly becomes more sort of emotionally and expressionistically focused than narratively focused.
I think overall, like, my opinion on the narrative is that it's kind of bad. It's not great. I say it's okay, like mediocre. Yeah. But the art style and the way they build their style, the aesthetic of the entire show is like one of the best. Like,
this is from the guy who did Ping Pong, so that alone seemed like a pretty...
That's what I keep hearing from everybody. It's like the guy... What's it?
Masaki Yuasa.
There we go.
The guy everyone loves. That's me, the encyclopedia. Thank you for stopping.
Thank you for saving me from having to Google that. It's fucking gorgeous. It's like, for me, as someone who's into like style and filmmaking and like visually impressive stuff,
also,
like I couldn't take my eyes off of it.
The Tatami Galaxy, Mind Game, Kemonozumi, Kaiba, for more of Masaki
he did Kaiba?
Yuasa's style. Yeah.
Oh my god, fucking Kaiba is like one of my top 5 anime in existence.
And he did, I think 2 episodes of Space Dandy. He did the Plant Planet one, and I think the one where like the sun was vaporizing the moon's surface or whatever. There was like a romance plot thing. Cool stuff.
Yeah, I've been meaning to get into his shows. I just haven't done so yet.
He animated the weed scene in Samurai Champloo, which is cool.
Oh god, that was great.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody's going to dispute that Devilman Crybaby has a really cool style. I just don't think the show itself was for me.
Yeah, that's fair. I won't disagree with you there. For me, it's like one of those shows that was like, oh my god, the second I started watching it, I just
gotta
fucking
throw that
fell in
OST
love.
on at the very least, though.
Oh yeah, it's good. The fucking intro is so good.
Yeah, the intro is really imaginative. Very good
What's
stuff.
in an OP? The hidden
What's in an OP
meaning behind
when?
Devilman Crybaby's
OP. God. Speaking of good OPs, what was that other show that had the really good OP that was kind of terrible? Kokoku.
Oh yeah, the OP is so good.
Yeah. The show is not great.
That's a
Did
shame.
anybody
But it's
like
it's a light
Kokoku?
novel thing, right? So.
Oh, I assume so.
Shocker.
I always like to bring up Divine Gates OP. So good. The show is probably one of the worst in existence.
Yeah, Kokoku is not one of the shows that I haven't gotten a chance to see that one yet, but I don't know how I'll feel about it. I've heard goods and bads.
Oh, Dio Media's got a show this season. I didn't even know that. Beatless.
Beatless was pretty bad too.
Beatless is bad? Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
I like Dio Media.
What they did the show bitch show last year. Oh, but Action Heroine Cheer Fruits is kind of cute.
It is kind of cute. Not cute enough to watch, but kind of cute.
Yeah, they've had a couple of fucking shit shows the past couple of seasons.
The studio that did, or that's doing Kokoku is cool. They're Genos Studio. They're basically like the remains of Studio Manglobe, which collapsed last year, I think, due to bankruptcy. They did like Ergo Proxy and Samurai Champloo. Started off doing these like cool, ambitious, original things, and then just sort of fell apart by the end there. But Genos Studio is like a bunch of that staff sort of coming together to make the successor.
Neat.
How bad's Killing Bite?
It's awful. It's
like
by Linden. Unimaginably awful. The only thing, there are two things worse than Killing Bites on the seasonal chart. That's the one about shogi, the pedophile show about shogi, and
the fuck?
And the literal porn. Those two shows are worse than Killing Bites.
Well, here's the thing I'm curious about. I want to let it like roll out for like 5-6 episodes, because here's the thing. Last Liden Films show I watched was what was it? Fucking always forget the name. The magical high school one. I know it's so generic, but whatever.
Battle and it started Girl off High School?
Huh?
Battle Girl High School?
No, it was
Be a Regular at Magic High School?
They did that one? No, they didn't.
I don't know. I'm just naming Magic High School anime.
There's like 100 and... Yeah, we'll be here for weeks if you do that. I always forget the name of it. But it was like really shit when it started off, but like by episode 5 or 6, it made a turn to being actually kind of good.
5 and 6 is over an hour in.
Yeah, I know. The only reason I watched it was because I was making a satire video on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So like that was the only reason I had watched it that far, because it was so shit. And then after that, like it kind of hooked me, and I ended up finishing it, which was not what I was expecting to do. I can't think of the name of it. It's okay. I'm curious. I want to wait like 5-6 episodes. I'm gonna give it a shot. See if that's just Linden Film style.
Fair.
Make their show really shitty at first, and then like turn it into something decent towards the end. But like,
even if it does become something decent toward the end, you've wasted over an hour and a half of your time to watch like what, 3 or 4 good episodes of a show?
Yep. I mean, my time isn't worth much anyway, so fuck it.
All right, fine. If that's how you feel.
I sat through all of Gangsta, you know?
All right.
That's what I remind. That was 6 hours of my life gone. I'll never get back. And I remind myself of that every day.
Mm-hmm. No, like, this is something that I don't understand. And I feel like either we talked about this or I talked about it on Nux Taku's podcast earlier in the week. Or last week, I guess. But people always say, like, you have to give anime 3 episodes. You have to give every single anime 3 episodes. Like, what if it gets better later? It's like, it won't. Like, usually by the end of the first episode, you can say, oh, this is definite trash. And yeah, you'll be wrong, like, once a season. But that's worth it to save, like, all of that time.
I think the idea behind it is all this 3-episode rule stuff came out when Madoka Magica came out.
Yeah.
Because with Madoka Magica, it was the end of episode 3 when the show just, like, turns on.
Yeah.
Like, it was, like, goes from being, like, okay, boring magical girl to, like, oh, shit, like, this is a real show.
The thing about it, even with Madoka, it wasn't a bad show for those 2 episodes.
Well, it was just, like, it was a misleading show for those 2 episodes. Yeah,
but the show that it was, or the show it was pretending to be, was still good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could tell that the producers behind this show were, like, competent and were making something good, even if the good thing they were making turned out to be completely different from the thing they said they were making.
Well, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. I was building this into an argument where I was going to agree with you.
Well, I'm just not used to that, okay?
You're not used to me being on the same side. I'm not used to you being
on my side.
No, but my point stands is that if a show ends up being good towards the end of the season, people are going to say something about it. Like, it's going to kind of spread, like, hey, you should really watch that Madoka Magica show. The only reason why you would give something the 3-episode rule is so you don't run the risk of spoiling a good show that starts off bad.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm not one who cares too much for spoilers.
Mm-hmm. Like, I've been watching the first episodes of everything for only, like, 2 seasons now. And apparently I was wrong about Land of the Lustrous, and that's it. Like, that's the only show I wrote off that people are like, hey, this is actually good.
Yeah, the way I see it is like if I drop something early on and it does end up like being good, then I'll hear about it at some point down the line, and then I can just go back and check it out. And that's cool.
I mean, it's not going to stop existing just because I said it was trash.
Yeah, and I watch too much anime now to fucking give everything I watch 3 episodes.
Yeah, seriously.
That's another reason why I'm on your side, is like, you have to give fucking, what was that name of that shitty show? My Girlfriend is a Gal, 3 episodes. No, don't.
No, I don't.
I know where that show's going. Evil or Alive, 3 episodes. I think I'll just shoot myself.
I wanted so bad for that to be good. It started out so okay.
I love how you were like, this is a new show that's gonna up.
I said it had the same feel as Classroom of the Elite.
But better.
And then no, Classroom of the Elite was better.
It just fucking fell apart so bad. It was hilarious.
It reminds me of Children of the Whales, which fell apart even worse.
Yeah.
That was such a shame.
I had to sneak away to grab some of the yakisoba palm before the cafeteria ran out. And I've returned successful from my mission.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you got your food.
Thank you.
I assume that's food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
I assume
you don't know what yakisoba pan is? What are
I'm
you
not
doing?
enough of a weeb to know the names of Japanese foods. Not yet.
I know what Pocky is.
Same.
That's about the limit to my vocabulary.
You guys are such bad weebs.
I'm sorry.
I know. I'll try to get better.
Fact. God. So the other day, I don't know if you guys have been seeing this. I've been enjoying it. Is people have started this new trend on Twitter, where they fucking take all the anime YouTubers and then rate them.
Yeah, I saw that.
Have you seen this?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a trend. I thought it was just one guy.
I saw the.
I thought it was one guy too, but then there was like I found like 6 to 8 other ones.
Okay.
I was an A+ wild card.
I didn't make that list, but the ones I've made, I've been F tier, which I'm really proud about.
I don't know. I thought I saw one with you on it where you were pretty high up there.
I don't know. I only found like 2 or 3 of them, honestly.
F tier. Because math.
It was like this. It was like F tier, and I was just like, I commented underneath saying, "Yeah, trust me, that Matt guy's fucking shit." Like, I don't blame you. It's fucking great. I love it. I just wanted to make like my own like fucking ranking system and put me as S, and then everybody else in the F tier. And just like, here's my objective review of everybody in the anime YouTuber community.
No, I only saw one of those lists, which is why I thought it wasn't a trend per se. But
no, there were
really
quite
well
a few
on that
out
list.
there.
So,
I didn't make that list. I'm just saying. It's okay. I love it because I was looking at it and it was like, it had like Mr. Nice Guy who's like 2K subs. I guess he's he's pretty famous though. He's pretty well known because of the what's it called? The AniTuber podcast thing, not the podcast.
Yeah.
But the thing where he gets all the big AniTubers together. I did it. I should fucking know the name.
The Weebcast?
The anthologies. There we go.
Oh, the AniTuber anthology. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just like, he was like up there on the list and he had like 2K subs and I'm sitting here like, hey guys, I exist. Just in case you forgot, I make videos.
Yeah, no, in those polls, I typically found myself seated somewhere in like the mid-range, sometimes on like the lower end of the mid-range, and I'm thinking, that's fair. That's fair. Just another shot to my self-esteem. No, it's fine.
Oh, shit.
Hey man, at least you didn't get put in the F tier, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing is I could be ranked lower, so I'll take it.
There we go.
No,
I'm not Manime Matt tier.
There we go. What was it? Oh, here it is. He was like bitching about me and Jeff because Jeff was in the F tier too for some reason.
Yeah.
Jeff is
consistently gets put very low.
Yeah,
Jeff
like
is
I can
a cleaner
see the
for Neverworld.
grounds on which you would do that, which is like you're really bothered by the shilling, so you think it just like demotes him super hard.
Speaking of rankings, this is such a good segue. I promise.
Yeah.
It's so clean. Crunchyroll awards. This wasn't the list or anything. I don't have a little list I wrote on the side of things we're supposed to talk about today. But the Crunchyroll awards are a thing for 2018.
They sure are.
Wait, check out the nominees for 2018 Animes Awards presented by Crunchyroll. But we're rating the 2017 year, aren't we?
Yeah, but the Anime Awards are happening in 2018.
That is taking place in 2018. It is celebrating the anime of 2017.
I disagree with the naming, but that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Opinions. I kind of want to go through all these and just tear them apart. Because some of these are just shit.
I haven't looked at them, so I'm looking forward to hearing which ones are shit.
I don't mind them, but then again, I'm not of the mind to like get too bothered.
I thought last year they like, at least I think this year the list of, at least in the ones I've seen, they seem better than last year. Like, at least now these are shows that or maybe I'm just more immersed in the community this year, but these are shows that I've heard of. I've seen that they've got good reputations, and I'm like, hey, yeah, that's reasonable.
Well, here's my thing, is I feel like some of these are legit rigged. Like, some of them were, like, pretty obviously, like, because here's the thing. So they had a group of judges pick the 6 nominees, and then it's voting. But if you look through some of the lists, like, it's, like, pretty obvious that they very clearly missed certain shows so that would have easily won.
I mean, yeah, because Mahojin Guru Guru is only in there for one thing. I mean, obviously, Guru Guru would have won every award.
So, like, yeah, I didn't see Takagi-san on any of these lists.
What's a primary
Citrus,
example
guys?
of this missing, you think, Manime?
Okay, so best opening, you've got...
oh, yeah. That's definitely one of the most questionable things.
Yeah, like, you got Ancient Magus Bride, which is like... Yeah, it's not great. And then Attack on Titan Season 2.
Which is
the only ones I kind of agree with is they have My Hero Academia Peace Sign, which is fair. Totally deserves to be in there. Princess Principles was good.
Yeah.
And I can't pronounce the other one. In Mawao no Shinigami. That one was pretty good. I watched the OP.
Right there, I already have a problem because they put peace sign in there and not Sora ni Utaiba.
Sora ni Utaiba, yeah, that was Jeff's complaint. So here's the thing. They seem pretty clearly to have been grading primarily on music and not on visuals, which is how Ancient Magus Bride got in here at all.
Yeah. The Ancient Magus Bride OPs both suck.
And I'd say that's just, a difference of philosophy. It's a bad, terrible philosophy, and they're stupid for utilizing it, but that is just sort of inherent to the criteria they were using here, so there's not much to be...
But even then, Sora ni Utaiba is a better song than Peace Sign.
I'm not sure I agree with that.
From what I've seen, Peace Sign is the more popular musically, but the argument is that Sora ni Utaiba, as an overall OP, is stronger, held up by that visual component.
I mean, yeah, that's fair, but I mean, my subjective opinion is actually the best. So,
but they got Shogen Rokurokugo Shinju's in here, so they've done all right by me.
Yeah, Rakugo's is good.
I need to watch that.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so who do you guys think was gonna win? I think Peace Sign's gonna win.
It's probably gonna be a competition between Peace Sign and Sasageyo.
See, I don't think Sasageyo has a chance. I think it's going to be between
Sasageyo, Sasageyo, Jinsei o Sasageyo.
What is it?
I mean,
other ones I was thinking. Oh yeah, here's a clear one. Best animation.
Yep.
So they got a silent voice.
You nailed it, Matt.
A silent voice, which is a good, really beautiful film. But not like the animation isn't where it's at. My Hero Academia.
No. The reason the best animation category is messed up. Let's not make any mistakes.
It's a film,
a singular anime film competing with a bunch of TV anime.
Yeah,
well,
that's
of that,
bullshit.
It's in anime film by Kyoto Animation, so there's literally no way any other nominee could compete with them, and it's the uncontested best animation in category.
Well, if that was the thing that kind of caught me off guard, is that they've got a fucking silent voice in that category, and they don't have whatchamacallit in there. What's the other one? Fucking
Your Name.
Your Name.
Yeah.
Which clearly should win. Like, Your Name has the best animation.
I mean, really, like, if they were opening up the best animation category to include anime films, I think it should be like mostly anime films. I mean, what are their best? Because the yearing is. Yeah, Your Name should be there. Kizumonogatari, third movie.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus
fucking
absolutely. Christ, that should be there for best animation.
Yeah.
I mean, the Fate Stay Night, Heaven's Feel movie, that's ufotable with film production values. But they're not, like, great animation-wise. They're more, like, post-processing whatever. So, like, you could discount that, but it seems like they're counting those things as animation anyway, so that should probably be there. So really, if films were... I think it's just a miscommunication. Like, people didn't know films were allowed to be best animation or something like that. Because it should be silent.
Well, these were picked from a panel of judges, though.
Kids
like 6 people.
Pity, probably Fate Stay Night, Heaven's Feel, and then maybe, like, Little Witch Academia or My Hero Academia, something like that.
I feel like Little Witch Academia doesn't deserve to be there. It's just not... I mean, the original, like...
the OVAs were stellar, yeah. The TV
were gorgeous, but, like, the TV...
consistent, but it had some... Not some, it had a lot of good high points, I'd say.
Yeah, but I agree with you on the fact that it just wasn't consistent. The high. There's some other ones. Best Slice of Life.
That was a weird one, because it's stuff that I wasn't sure would... like, is MMO Junkie really a slice of life that feels more romance to me? Rom-com, maybe?
Yeah, that's not a slice of life show.
Yeah, the same with, like...
Tsukigakari's in there, too, which, I mean, I love Tsukigakari.
That's definitely
a romance.
But, I mean, they didn't have a romance category, I don't think, so, like, stuff just got shunted into there, it seems.
That's kind of odd that they wouldn't have a romance category, but, yeah.
Yeah, that is weird, now that you bring that up.
I think they had one last year. I mean, like, straight-up romance anime aren't super common, and a lot of it is that sort of borderline, like, rom-com thing, just because... consummating those relationships is so relatively rare.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I felt like we had enough. I mean, you had Just Because, you had MMO Junkie, which I'd call a romance, you had Skiga Kide. You could find 2 more romance shows.
I'm trying to think. Where's some other good... What are some other terrible ones? Oh, shit. Sorry, I clicked away. Best comedy. I mean, not a bad pick. You got Konosuba Season 2, which is and Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
Osamatsu-san getting some love. Nicely done. Little Witch Academia isn't really a comedy, but, like, it wouldn't have fit into anything else as well, I think. So that's a fine genre choice.
We got Gamers.
Gamers is pretty funny. I like that one.
Gamers is probably my anime of the year.
Suderi Children. Here's my thing. Suderi Children was a short form.
Oh, that's another one.
I'm kind of surprised that's allowed in there.
I'm fine with short anime.
I mean, I'm fine with it. It just...
Suderi Children isn't a 3-minute per episode show, right? It's not one of those. It's 12 minutes. Like, it's a substantial show, runtime-wise, so I don't mind it being in there.
Let's see. Best continuing series... That's just a weird one. You have Case Closed in there, Dragon Ball Super, Naruto. I'm guessing they're reading... No, they just have Naruto Shippuden.
I mean, there was a bit of Shippuden.
I mean, Baruto makes sense, not Naruto Shippuden.
Well, it ended
All
last
Out,
year.
which has got my vote.
I will say that Best Continuing Series is muddied a bit as a category, because it's got, like, a mix of just second seasons to shows... and, like, long-running series, which seems like
One Piece could be in here.
Yeah.
Because that's continuing. It's like, just kind of vague.
Iron-Blooded Orphans Season 2, where March Comes In Like a Lion, just doesn't seem like it should be in the same category as Dragon Ball Super or, Case Closed. Seems like different things.
Then Best Girl has, no offense, the audacity to pull 2 girls from the same show. Just saying. That's pretty rude in my opinion.
I'm just saying, though, that if those are the 2 girls that I'm guessing they must be.
From Hiroaka?
Yes. Then yes, they're the 2 girls that I'm guessing they must be.
Guess.
Absolutely.
It's Sue and Ochako.
Yeah.
Yeah, then they're right.
No, I totally get that. Best boy and best girl appeal, I think, is pretty central to Hiroaka. So it makes sense that it'd get two for each gender there.
Oh, who are the 2 best boys?
2 best boys? Yeah.
Deku and
probably
Todoroki,
Deku and...
right?
Yeah, that's what I figured.
And Todoroki?
I don't actually know, I'm just guessing.
It is Todoroki.
I feel you. I think that's a bit more of a stretch.
No, I tell you what, I was trying to figure this one out earlier. Best villain.
Yeah.
wow, we have had a seriously shit season for villains, haven't we? Like, honestly, it's Stain, then the fucking evil Nazi chick.
No,
Tanya.
Matt, it takes place in World War One. You know that the Nazi Party did not exist back then. She's not a Nazi. Did you even take a history class? Blah, blah, blah.
Which one of us has the video named My Nazi Lolly or something?
Literally multiple comments every day for the past like 4 or 5 months complaining about me calling her a Nazi. As that video continues to rake in a stupid amount of views. I don't get it. And remain monetized in spite of Nazi in the title.
Yeah, never use any kind of shorthand when you're talking. Just specifically say whatever it is you mean.
God. But yeah,
oh
geez,
no,
like,
wouldn't have nearly as many views
terrible.
if I didn't do that, so I'll take it.
Is it worth it, Pedro?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, let's see.
We
Yeah, there's just no good villains this year. I mean, Stain is a good villain, but in a very different light. Like, he's a good villain writing-wise because he helps introduce us to the importance of...
He's a fantastic villain. I mean, he accomplishes a lot in his short little, like, 5 or 6 max episode arc.
Yeah, he kind of changes the whole mentality of the series.
He kind of changes everything. Oh, wait, no.
Well, okay, let me rephrase this. He's incredible in a sense... Like, I've brought up the fact that the way he's so powerful is in the way... that he brings up the fact that morality is really important when building a villain. It's meant to be like this kind of teaching method to not only like the people of the show, but also the people watching to understand why Stain was so successful versus Shigaraki? Is that what his name is?
Yeah.
Versus Shigaraki, who doesn't really have any morals. So like that's why he's great, but at the same time, like villain-wise, as like being something scary and something that every time he's in frame, I'm kind of fearful for our characters. No, not the slightest.
Not only... That's like his whole thing. Like that's inherent to the character. The threat of death, where previously the stakes like rarely got that high in the series.
But then on top of that, Stain, like after his fight with the kids, then he like spawns this whole group of new villains who are like flocking to the league because of his ideals. So like that's a pretty huge impact.
I'm personally of the thought process of like what makes a good villain. I mean, that's an incredible villain, like writing wise. I think he's fantastic in that sense. He's like one of the best there is in that sense. But as in like what I look for in a villain is something that just like is a threat whenever he's on screen. And like that was like who's one of my favorites. I always forget his name. He's from the show where it's all 3D animation.
Which one?
I think it was from last year. I fucking forgot the name of it.
You're not talking
about... But he's
just
like...
Zero? Bubuki Buranki?
1 second. It was, I think, winter 2015, I think.
That's not last year.
Nope.
That's not even last year.
I'm sorry. Wait. I was in 2016 for some reason. What the fuck was I in 2016 for? Oh my god, how far back am I? I don't remember the name anymore. But it was incredible. They had this fucking villain that was just like every time he was in frame, he had this like prowess.
Oh, was it Ajin?
Ajin, that's it. The main antagonist of Ajin. Like anytime he was in frame, he was just like this horrible menace that you just know like okay, shit's about to go down. Like something bad's about to happen. And that was what was incredible about him. I think he's an example of like an excellent villain that I look for in characters.
I will say that Cartaphilus from Ancient Magus Bride is decent at that. Like he's got a relatively powerful and threatening presence, and you're kind of scared about the threat he poses. But like as a character, he's very minimally developed at this stage in the series, at least. So on that front, he fails.
You kind of have that issue with
Usagi's
Bondrewd,
pretty
too.
fucking scary. And like he may like there is tons of threat there. There's a likely.
What's Usagi from?
Juni Tyson, the bunny.
The bunny.
Oh yeah. He was great.
He would have to be for me that he would be the closest one. to being the best villain. Like, I think in the list, I think in my opinion, he's the best villain.
I feel like Bondrewd could be a top contender, like if more material was adapted, but we're only just kind of getting to figure out who the guy is.
Yeah, I think like the next arc of the series involves them actually like encountering and fighting him in full force. So if we had gotten that second season, then he would be best villain contender, maybe for like the 2019 or 2020 Anime Awards.
Anyway, wait, I want to get to the Anime of the Year one now, though. So, let's get some people tilted. March comes in like a lion, season 2. Made in Abyss, Land of the Lustrous, Hiroraka season 2, Shokugaroku, whatever it is, season 2. I always forget how to pronounce it. Don't judge me. And Little Witch Academia.
Which category is this?
Why?
Drama?
The Anime of the Year.
Oh, okay.
Which is, to me, it's ridiculous. Like, March comes in like a lion. There must be like one of the judges must be a hardcore
March
fanboy
comes in
because
like
it has made in
is an outstanding show. Like it's
good.
It actually like boggles my ability to grasp it how good it is at points. So like this is a clear, reasonable pick for me.
For me, I feel like season 1 was that way, but season 2 for me has, I want to say it's slow because that's the kind of show it is. But I feel like season 2 is underdeveloped so far.
I don't know. God, why can't I remember her name? The middle of the Kawamoto sisters.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I mean, that whole arc with her is outstanding in its portrayal of bullying and then the ripple effect that has on the whole cast.
Mm-hmm.
And the part with Nikaido, like learning actual like backstory for Nikaido and coming to like really appreciate his struggle was incredible. For as many characters that are as good as this show has, with as out there presentation as it has, I think it's a no-brainer for Anime of the Year nominee.
And there's still a core to go. Oh boy.
I'm just a little salty Kobayashi's Dragon Maid isn't in there.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
fair.
I really feel like that show should have kicked out. I mean, Made in Abyss is good. I won't deny it.
Wait a minute.
But Made in Abyss to me is inferior to Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
I mean, I feel like this is just the problem with Anime of the Year.
I think I do have Dragon Maid rated slightly higher.
There were some other good shows.
Made in Abyss,
that
I'd say like
it.
Dragon Maid is a bit uneven, but Made in Abyss is more uneven. It does more in like the world building aspect, so if you're into that, I could see Made in Abyss being like a better rated show for you, but just comes down to like what things you prefer a show to focus on.
I just think it's, I mean, obviously the winner's gonna be Hiroraka just because it's gonna get the most votes, but still.
Yeah, I'm relatively happy with this Anime of the Year list overall.
I do have to admit, I have respect for Land of the Lustrous being in there.
I love having Land
I think
of
that
Lustrous
was one of
in
those
there.
shows that like clearly someone who like appreciated it.
And we got Rakugo Shinju, obligatory once again nomination for Anime of the Year, as it rightly deserves.
And it's okay because even if it doesn't win, Under the Scope gave it Anime of the Year for the second year in a row, so at least someone's recognizing it.
It's getting a lot of recognition. I think a lot of people have deep appreciation for it. I heard the beginning of it's kind of slow though. It takes a little while to pick up, but once it does, it's apparently really strong. I haven't gotten too far into it.
It's so captivating that I'd never noticed.
I sat down to watch the first episode the other day with a friend, and I was like, "Why? This feels like this is going on a little long." And I was like, "Oh, because it's like double the length of an episode." Okay.
And like the Blu-ray cut of that, it's like a double-length episode on airing, so like 48 minutes. I think the Blu-ray cut of that episode is an hour or just over an hour, so they went even more so on that episode 1.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, but ultimately, I gotta
need
say,
to get around to.
My Hero Academia. It's Anime of the Year. It's greatest anime of all time. I'm the fanboy. There's the Hunter x Hunter 2011 Dick Riding Association. I'm the My Hero Academia Dick Riding Association.
Okay,
so
yeah.
Yeah, I gotta admit, My Hero Academia is just, to me, is one of the I would have to say, just, it's not like, it doesn't particularly do out better than everything than like in their respective genres. When it comes across the board, though, My Hero Academia season 2 just fucking nails it.
It's
like,
not
it's so good.
The best show of the season or of the year, but it's a show that I can be relatively content with winning that award.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not one like that I'd resent taking it. Who won last year? Yuri on Ice? I don't mind.
Yeah,
Yuri on Ice.
of course, Yuri on Ice won last year.
I don't mind that either, to be honest. Like in the context of it winning every award, it was a bit grating. But that's another one. Like, yeah, it's a legitimately great show, so it can win Anime of the Year, and I'll be, nonplussed.
Yeah, I definitely see other entries on here that I could understand getting the top spot. Personally, like I said, I would shill for this show, so I'd vote for it. But yeah, I mean, it's not the greatest, but I'll take it.
Mm-hmm. I feel like My Hero Academia is just one of those shows that hits every aspect of itself perfectly. I feel like every show has like that kind of weak spot, but My Hero Academia just doesn't. Like, I feel like the weakest point of it to me is its villains, and even I explained earlier how even the villains are incredible.
Mm.
You know,
I think that the sort of, if we're looking at the thing that has the closest to a ghost of a chance of winning over Hero Academia, it might be Made in Abyss, just because that also made a splash, but there's no way My Hero Academia isn't taking this, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I'm not sure like how much, because the winners are going to be determined by a mix of popular vote and judge input this time around, to sort of like balance things out and prevent a Yuri on Ice from happening again.
But that's the best thing about Hiroaka, is that it's
winning
both
70% of the categories.
But if there's any category where they wouldn't override that popular opinion to sort of stem the Hiroaka tide, it would be for Anime of the Year, where they definitely let that popular opinion through, I would think.
I mean, according to the Anime Man's top 100 anime in outside of Japan, it's the best anime of all time, so of course it's going to take it.
Mm.
All right, well, I think class is about to start, guys. I think it's time to head on out.
That's a shame.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how I just have opinions on the Crunchyroll. Like I said, I feel like a lot of these categories are kind of rigged, like intentionally certain characters. I don't know. I get tilted when I see certain things. Like, did just no one in the judging group watch that show? Is that like the only explanation? I don't know.
What's
I mean, there might have
been I'm gonna go grab my tinfoil hat after this.
Outside of, because you mentioned it for the OPs, but those like got judged weirdly. Is there anything else that you think like really got robbed, or it should have gotten that nomination and would have taken the category?
No, not really. I think the endings, OPs, and best animation are the two that I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's about it.
Alrighty. Well, class it is.
Class it is.
Thank you guys for watching. This has been Manime Matt.
Explanation point.
Pedantic Romantic.
And MathWiz97, who believes that Takagi-san wasn't that great of an anime.
Meet me outside.
Well, we'll settle this outside.
Oh, you better grab the teacher. This is going to get violent real quick.
Yeah, please grab a teacher. He might kick my ass.